End of summer. What's it, the 21st or the 22nd? Which day is it? It's officially the end of summer. But the weather has been telling us that it's just about over. So let's see. Here we go. All right. So Mike, let me see. Is Floyd here yet? Let's see. Floyd, are you here? Nope. Not yet. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started. Mike? You're on mute, honey. Got to turn it off. Still. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, good. I just unmuted. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. And thank you for joining us in the spirit of perfect harmony. We are the Center for Spiritual Living, West Georgia. We study and practice the philosophy and science of the mind we know as God. And with our spiritual presence and our participation in our service this morning, we create a higher state of consciousness and manifest love. As we continue on a daily inspirational messages, we have received many from our master teacher, Reverend Dr. Sandra Jackson. She has been providing some very positive messages, and I really am glad that she is, because I really enjoy them. So at this time, Reverend Dr. Sandra Jackson will proceed with our service.
Okay, thank you so much, Mike. Okay, so let us begin this morning. Welcome. I am so glad to see you all this morning. Everybody is looking well and healthy, and I hope that you are being as joyful as you look this morning, because you're all looking beautiful. Let's just close our eyes and turn within right now. And let's just find ourselves in that place of perfect peace, perfect wisdom, and perfect creativity. That place where we know that we are at the very center of God. For God is the center of everything, and yet circumference is nowhere. Right where we are, God is. Right where we are, the spirit of life moving in us and through us and as us, breathing us in this very moment, allowing us to be in this life. And so it is knowing that we are one with this life, knowing that we are separate in places, but not in spirit. We join together in complete consciousness and a complete awareness of the wholeness and the love that we are. We allow ourselves this day to be in complete alignment and harmony with the indwelling presence of God in us. We are open, available to hear that which is our message for this day. For while there is one universal message, each one of us receives it in such a way that it enlivens and uplifts and inspires our own particular life. And so it is knowing that this is the truth unfolding in us and through us and as us. I bless each one of us right where we are this day, and know that all things, everything is working for good in our lives, regardless of how we see it or feel it or experience it. We are always knowing the truth, that we are spirit expressing in form, and all must be good. And so it is. Amen. So music this morning, we were going to have Zizi, but she is a little under the weather today. And look at her little arm. Well, we're going to know that all is well, no matter what. And so Connie and Cynthia are going to be our musicians for today. So let's welcome them. All right.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're feeling better, Zuzi. We're going to do a song that we did several months ago, but it's one of my favorite songs. Every time I play this song, it gives me chills. And I know Reverend Dr. Sandra likes this song a whole lot. So this is for you. It's Surely the Presence. Okay? The midst of his children, the Lord said he would be. It doesn't take very many. It can be just 2 or 3. And I feel that same sweet spirit I've felt on times before. Surely I can say I'm in the presence of the Lord. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel his mighty power and his grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on his face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. There's a holy hush around us as God's presence fills this place. I touch the hem of his garment. I can almost see his face, and I feel that same sweet spirit I've felt all times before. Surely I can say I'm in the presence of the Lord. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel his mighty power and his grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on his face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Thank you. You're absolutely right. That is one of my favorite songs. Yep. Sometimes I just sing it to myself, walking around the house. Thanks. All right. Because, we all have to remember that, don't we?
Yes.
Remember that right where we are, God is all the time. And this morning, Dorothea is helping us to remember that the Lord is in our place. And she is going to do our reading for us. Thank you, Dorothea. And Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Sandra.
Outer space to inner space. Okay. Go ahead, Dorothea.
Thank you, Reverend Sandra. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Sandy, for sending my reading for this week. Thank you, Mike. Today's reading is from The New Design for Living by Dr. Ernest Holmes and Willis Kinnear. The Foundation of Success. All truly successful people carry with them an atmosphere of affirmative expectation. They expect to prosper and succeed. Almost automatically, situations and conditions surround and are attracted to them that make success possible. It would be impossible for them not to be successful. Some people just naturally think success. Others of us seem to labor with the idea. In such a case, we must re-educate ourselves and the way we think. The end result of such a process is to arrive at the point where we come to know that we are daily guided and governed by a supreme intelligence and acted upon by a power greater than we are. Right here is where faith plays its very important role. A faith that is simple and that we already possess. We never try to argue ourselves into believing that we are alive, or that the world is round, or water is wet. We accept these simple propositions because something within us knows that they are true. We also accept more profound conclusions with equal faith. Man is born to believe, to have faith and conclusions and something greater than he is. Divine being always carries with him some echo of that infinite source in which he lives and moves. This faith that we should have is not a faith in some extraordinary belief, in something we just hope is true, but rather a fundamental conviction that every normal person should hold about life, whether he has ever analyzed it or not. A faith in an overshadowing presence which guides and a law which reacts. This faith is in perfect keeping with the best that man has learned about himself and the world he lives in. And on such a faith, such a foundation of security, rests all conscious seeking of success attainment of the better life. Such a faith designates the source of the greater good and the way in which it becomes our experience. In summary, we always succeed. We need to learn to succeed in the right things. This we can do by declaring and affirming the good we desire and having a firm belief and conviction that it is ours right now. What we believe in a firmly established as a spiritual entity and as such must of necessity manifest itself in our experience. We actually create nothing, but only accept the abundance we desire from the infinite source of all abundance.
Thank you, Dorothea. That just, we're all wanting success, right? And we have to start knowing that we are successful. This month, we have been talking about fear, specifically facing the fear. And this week is week 3 of September. And the title for today is, Do You Have Faith or Had by Faith? These titles and this whole theme for this year was written a year ago. I don't know what they were thinking about with that title. I'm like, what are you talking about? How you get had by faith? Do you have faith? Have faith, okay, that's one thing. But how do you get had by it? I don't know. So I just, I came up with my own thoughts about this. And so here's the thing. We have fear and we have faith. And when we're having fear, because they're two sides of the same coin, when we're having fear, we're living by what we see in the world. We're living by appearances. But when we live by faith, we are living by that which we cannot see. is that which is not yet known to us. It is what's going to happen next month, next year, 5 years from now. We have faith that all is well, whether it's next year or tomorrow. Having faith means that we have faith that we have this conviction. Faith is beyond a belief. It is a conviction. It is having a conviction that all is well, regardless of the appearances. And it's because it's the unseen, because that's what Hebrews tells us, right? Because it's the unseen, it's something that has not yet appeared. So our fear sometimes comes in that which has not appeared yet too, okay? So they tell us there's 5 major fears. One is the fear of extinction, which, we probably all of us have, that's the fear of death, okay? The second is a fear of mutilation, which means our fear of our physical health, of having something happen physically to us. The third is losing autonomy. And that's our decision making, being able to make decisions. Seniors get to a point, it's like, I want to be able to live in my own house, do my own thing, right? Our own independence, okay, that kind of thing. The fourth one is our fear of separation, losing connection to other people. And the fifth is the death of the ego, which is our self-worth. So let's take a look at each one of these. Because here's the thing, we have had the experience, the appearance, and we could have been afraid of all of these at some point during the summer, since last March to today. First of all, the fear of extinction, right? I mean, the coronavirus is here. We all know it. People are dying every day in our country. And so that's the fear of extinction. And what people have said is that they could get sick on Monday and be dead on Friday or before, okay? So here it's like that fear of extinction is there, that fear of death. Okay, the next is the fear of mutilation. So that's the fear of getting sick, right? Because you have the virus, you could get sick. And yes, you could recover. A lot of people do recover. However, what has also been coming clear is that sometimes they have ongoing problems as a result, such as problems with their heart, okay? The third is losing autonomy and the decision making, and that's where the masks come in, all right? Some people want to wear masks, some people don't want to wear masks, all right? And so we're having this national debate about whether or not you should wear a mask. And some people feel that wearing a mask keeps them from being able to make their own decision about it. And then the fear of separation is the social distancing, right? You can't go anywhere without seeing on the floor, markers of where you're supposed to stand. That's also a part of losing autonomy too, because you're not supposed to, if you get too close, somebody will say something to you sometimes, okay? Sometimes in a nice way and sometimes in a not so nice way. So that kind of goes with the decision making too. And then the ego death is the death of self-worth. And people who have lost jobs and are having to file for unemployment that have never ever filed for unemployment in their entire lives. They felt, they're taking care of their own business, and now they're in a place where they have to rely on unemployment. Some people are in fear because they're being evicted, or they're in fear of being evicted, okay? So we have all of these fears have come. If we haven't felt them personally, we know people in the world have, whether we know these people personally or we don't. Okay, so these are fears that are there. So how do we deal with these fears? Because see, the thing is that whether we're doing it, if you're not feeling any of these fears, but you see people who are, and they're in your sphere, your faith can help them overcome their fears. Okay, so let's think of it from that perspective if you're not thinking about yourself particularly. All right, so August 7th, there was a wedding in Maine. And I think it was 65 people went to that wedding. The minister did the wedding. Everything went well. Everybody had a great time. By August 17th, 24 people were infected who had not gone to the wedding, but were in contact with one or more of the 65 people who did. Okay. By September 13th or September 3rd, 134 people had been infected by those 65 people, and one person had died. There were outbreaks in jails and in hospitals as a result. So why do I tell you this? Well, they interviewed, I saw this on TV. I looked it up today because I wanted to be sure I was right, but I saw it on TV like maybe the end of August sometime, and they interviewed the minister who had done the wedding. He is still doing church services in person with no mask and, maybe some social distancing. But basically, what is he saying? God will take care of us. And God certainly did take care of the 65 people who were there, because from all that we can tell, or with the reports that I've read, none of the 65 people have been sick. Now, what is that telling you? God protects the in crowd. Think about that. God is protecting us, but what about those people who have gotten sick or died? Does not God protect them too? When we're praying, do we pray for ourselves or do we pray for everybody? When they were praying at the church for the people to be protected, were they praying that all the rest of us were protected too? I don't know. I saw a man on TV from Alabama sometime earlier this summer, maybe April or May, and he was saying the same thing. Well, we're having church service in person because God's going to protect us. Well, I'm going to tell you my bias, okay? My bias is these people are looking at this whole situation and saying, God protects the in crowd. God protects the believers. And that just hurts my feelings. Why aren't all of us the in crowd? Why are there just some people the in crowd? Why is God protecting you but not me? Why is God not protecting all of us? When I pray for everybody, because I believe every one of us is one with God. Our fears are based on appearances. And so if we're looking around and we're saying, oh, you're in my church, so I'm going to pray for you. But you're not in my church, so I'm not going to worry about you. Think about all the things that have happened this summer. The protests, the killing of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, all of the other things that have gone on that have caused us consternation during the summer. Where's the faith in all of that? There's a lot of fear, but are we knowing that with all that is going on and all that is continuing to go on, that all is well no matter what? And see, having faith is knowing that no matter what the appearances are, all is well. Think about the reading that Dorothea did, that we're successful. We are successful because we are breathing. Okay? We have to begin to have faith in that which we don't see, and we simply have faith by saying and looking at any situation and say, I don't understand. I really don't understand. This is way beyond my pay grade, as they say, but all is well. Somewhere along the line, somewhere, all is well. I heard reports of people being so afraid now that Ruth Bader Ginsburg has passed away. And why are we afraid of that? Because we have vested in her a belief, and we have not vested that faith in all of us. Are you following me on this? Okay, so we have things in our world, not just her, but other things. You have things in your own life that you invested faith in. And you say, well, that's where my faith is. And yet that lets you down because it's what? A part of the appearances in the world. We cannot have faith in things in the world for one simple reason. They change. They change. They are not permanent. They change. I was thinking about Kathy just now, earlier today. She was playing around with her, with the screens. Does she want to be out in space, or does she want to be amongst the green grass? Okay, that's a change. Okay, if we put our faith in Kathy and what she's going to do, then guess what? We're going to have what? A problem, because Kathy's going to change. She's going to say, I don't think I like this particular one. I think I'll change. You see, the world is changeable. These are appearances, and we cannot put our faith in those appearances. But we can put our faith in who we are and knowing that all is well despite the appearances in the world. I find that as spiritual beings, we are in charge of caring for one another. Think about that. That we're in charge of caring for one another. And some of us have trouble doing that. And so I was remembering Robert Greenleaf. He wrote a book, or he wrote several books, but he wrote a servant leadership. And maybe you've heard of it since then, because a lot of people have kind of glommed onto it since he started writing about it. But in one of his books, he writes, in an organized society, there must be a lot of conformity. All organized effort, any concerted influence requires to some extent that those who participate must think and act alike. Nothing important can be accomplished without a good deal of conformity. Right now, we are asked to conform by wearing masks. Let's just use that as an example. You have other places in your life where you can choose, but mask is something that's universal right now. We all know that some people are saying, I don't want to wear a mask. And other people are going like, yeah, you better wear a mask because you're protecting, blah, 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 blah. They have their reasons and whatever. Both sides have their valid reasons, okay? On the one side, no, separate yourself from all the political and everything. Just think in terms of the argument to wear a mask or not to wear a mask. Because see, to wear a mask is asking to conform, and to not wear a mask is what people are saying, I don't want to conform, okay? Some people are willing to conform and others are not. Now, why are the people who are not willing to conform not willing to conform? What are they saying? They're saying they want their freedom. And that was one of the fears, remember? That was one of the fears. That was the fear of not being able to make decisions on your own. It's a fear of loss of autonomy. So they're not unreasonable. Do you see? That's a reasonable thing. They're saying, I don't want to conform because if I conform, I'm going to lose my freedom. And the others are saying, look, you need to conform for the good of us all. So this is what what Greenleaf says in order to resolve this. The problem is to know conformity for what it is. It is a completely external adjustment to a group of norms of behavior in the interest of group cohesiveness and effectiveness. It's a conscious adjustment in the interests of effective society. So let me break that down. What he is saying is that we make a decision to conform in order for the good to be spread around to us all. So going back to our wedding, if people had said, okay, the law in the state was only 50 people together, that means they had 14 people over. All right. So let's say they had stuck with the 50 people and the law said wear a mask. So what if they were all to have worn masks? Then not only would they may not have gotten sick, but they would have conformed, right? And in the conformity, they're conforming to what? The external world in order to protect the good of society. That's what he's saying. So you conform in order to protect everybody else along with yourself. But then he has another piece to this, and this is really important. He says, keep it external. In other words, keep the decision that out there to say, I am doing this for the good of everybody else. And then he says, never let it become part of you. Hold it firmly on the outside. The great danger is that one will lose one's identity in the act of conforming. So here's the thing. You make a decision to protect other people, but you don't change. You don't do it from a place of fear, and you don't make it something that changes you as who you are. It doesn't change your identity, okay? So you have faith. I have faith that all is well. I wear a mask in order to protect people and participate in the conformity of us all. Do you see the difference? So here you're participating in the appearance on a day-to-day basis, and yet at the same time, your faith is saying, all is well. I'm not wearing this mask because I am afraid. I am wearing, and it's not changing me on the inside to wear this mask. However, I am protecting other people, and I'm willing to conform externally in order for other people to feel safe and protected. Are you understanding this? If you are, shake your head, because if I'm out here by myself, then I'm good, okay? But I hope that this is making sense to all of us. Faith is about what is unseen. And it is also about who we are inside of ourselves. We don't have to walk around saying, oh, I know all is well, to somebody who's scared to death that they're going to get the virus. You don't look at them and say, oh, you don't have to be worried. You know, I have the faith that you're going to be fine. You don't know that they're going to be fine. But you can know for yourself, I am doing what I need to do for myself to take care of me in this moment. My identity and my faith is in myself, that all is well with me. They're responsible for being all is well with them. And we can't look at the appearances on the outside and say, oh, those people are sick and those people are sick, so I could get sick too. No, don't go there. Don't go there. But if you do get sick, what is it? All is well. Do you see? It's always about the unseen. It's always about the unseen. The faith is about that which you are not seeing. The faith is about that which you are wanting to have out there. So in your mind, you're saying all is well. If all is well, then guess what? You're not attracting anything that is fearful. But you have to face it if you are fearful. That's what this month is about too. If you're afraid of anything, you have to look at it and go, acknowledge it. Well, I'm afraid of this. And now you deal with it. So let's just use the virus. I'm afraid of getting the virus. Well, what is that? That's an appearance. Hello? The virus is an appearance. And so what do we say? I look at myself today and I'm healthy. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm willing to conform to what is being asked of me. Wash my hands, use hand sanitizers, wear a mask, don't be in crowds, social distancing, okay? I'm facing all those fears that, the fear of death and extinction, the fear of being separated. I'm facing all of those fears. But at the same time, I also have a remedy. Inside of me, I am knowing that the truth is that all is well. And then we use prayer to help us if we can't just use our affirmation. It's very important that we maintain our inner conformity to the faith of who we are. Ernest Holmes said, in order to have faith, we must have a conviction that all is well. What I've been telling you. Okay. In order to keep faith, we must allow nothing to enter our thought which will weaken this conviction. Faith is built up from belief, acceptance, and trust. Whenever anything enters our thought which destroys in any degree one of three attitudes, to that extent, faith is weakened. So if we allow ourselves to get involved in the appearances, then guess what? We are dropping out of our faith, aren't we? Okay. God does protect us. I have no doubt God does protect us. But God has protected us by giving us free will. And with that free will, why would you have free will if you did not have the intelligence and the love and the compassion and the wisdom to use it? Think about that. Why would God give you free will, which means you have choice? You have a choice to conform or not. You have a choice to have faith or be afraid. You have the free will to do any of that. You have a choice to believe that God's protecting you. But do you believe that God up there in the sky is protecting you? Or that God has given you the wisdom, the creativity, the love, and the intelligence to know when to conform and when not to conform, when to be loving and when to separate yourself from someone who is not loving, and when to do the things in your life that help you, to protect you, to guide you through this life? And do you have the faith that all is well and that God is protecting you by giving you these gifts of your consciousness? Do you see? These are yours to use or not. It's up to you. Your faith is going to require practice through prayer and meditation and through constantly affirming all is well. Even in the darkest of nights, what happens? There's always what? light. Go out in the very darkest, deepest night and look up in the sky, and what will you see? White stars. There's always light in the darkness, but we sometimes have to look for it. And when we look for it, then we see it. But sometimes we have to have the faith, because I don't know about you, but I go up there and look at the stars from my house sometimes, and it's still dark, and I have to look around because why? I've got trees in the way, okay? So I have to move, and you may have to move, okay? But it's there. You have to have the faith that it is there. You have to have faith in the unseen, not in the seen. Are we getting this? I hope we are, because it is very important, especially right now when people are getting sick and people are dying and people are doing things that we go like, I don't like what you're doing. You have to have faith that no matter what's going on, God is protecting you, because God is within you, and God within you has given you the intelligence to see beyond the appearance and live a life that is full and complete regardless of what is going on in the world. You and I are always successful in whatever it is that we are thinking, feeling, doing, and experiencing in our life. Have faith in that which you cannot see more than the faith you have in what you do see. What you see is a result of what was. Tomorrow will be what you had faith in today. Can't make it any clearer than that. Let's turn within. Close our eyes. And so in this very moment, I am knowing that right where we are, God is. And I give thanks for the consciousness that each one of us has to open, to be available, to experience, to live, and to love in the faith that the truth of who they are is spirit, which is intelligent, which is creative, which is loving, which is wise, which is powerful beyond measure. And that each and every one of us, right where we are, has sufficient power, intelligence, wisdom to exercise our free will in seeing that all truly is well, regardless of the appearance, all is well. That this is the truth of everything. And though it may look like the darkest of nights, there is always that light of truth that shines through. And so we are standing in that truth, knowing that truth, and being in that truth right here and right now. We allow ourselves to conform on the outer, but not changing that inner knowingness that all is well, not changing that inner awareness that God protects us from within, that we are one with that which we are protected by, that there is no separation, no division. There is only that truth in which we stand and which we feel and which we know unequivocally in this moment and from this moment on. This is our living faith. It is not a faith of yesterday. It is a faith of now. It is a faith that carries us from this day forward. I am knowing this truth is being accepted in our own way, in our own lives, right here and right now. I am knowing that the truth of who and what we are is being expressed fully and completely And I am knowing that all truly is well. As I release this word, I know that the law is accepting it and has accepted it. And it is manifesting in each one of our lives in a perfect way for each one of us. And so in gratitude and thanksgiving for this, and for all the glorious, beautiful manifestations of it that will happen as a result of this word being accepted in each and every one of our own lives, I release this word now, and I know that it is done. And so it is. Amen. Okay,
So it is. Jen, read us. Uh-oh, no, Sam. No. Oh no. Hello. Are we on? Yeah. Oh,
that's
hey.
confirmation from God.
Oh my gosh. Hold on.
It's sort of like when you're in service and there's babies in there, there's times when babies will cry and you go like, oh my God, that is scary.
It's okay, Sam. Sam wants to be in the show. That's it. I'm gonna do a song. We're gonna do a song this morning off my latest CD called "I Love My Life," and it's called "And So It Is." That's the name of it. I was singing up at Unity North, and Reverend Richard did a sermon on the power of manifesting your reality. He said that you can change your reality in accordance to your will and imagination. And I think that goes very well with your message this morning. So here it is for you. What is unfolding in your future? Empty canvas, you are the artist of your life. What your mind can conceive, what your heart can believe you can achieve, you can manifest your dreams, so it is. Light a candle, say a prayer. Tell your dreams to the universe out there. Meditate, visualize, believe. Open your heart, be willing to receive. You can change reality in accordance to your will and imagination. You create your life, and so it is. Close your eyes to see the future your soul led you to dream of. You create your life, and so it is. You create your life, and so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. So look around your life and see you are the master of your own destiny. You have allowed sorrow and pain, but you can consciously find your joy again. It's co-creation, and so it is. Light a candle, say a prayer. Tell your dreams to the universe out there. Meditate, visualize, believe. Open your heart, be willing to receive. it is, and so 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 it is.
And so it is. See, I don't. Marcia.
Good morning. Oh no, my dogs are going to answer that dog. Oh gosh. Okay, good morning. So here's the information to be able to support our ministry. And let me see, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So, of course, my chance to let you guys know there are 3 ways to give. You can give electronically through PayPal, and that link is in the chat window. The link is also always at the bottom of your newsletters that we get and any correspondence. You can mail a check to the address that is listed on the screen and in the chat window and in your newsletters. And Amazon Smile. Amazon has a charitable program where if you go through smile.amazon.com and you connect with our center, then a portion of what you purchase through Amazon will donate to our center. And I tell you, the easiest way to use Amazon Smile is to click the link that is in the newsletter, because it's kind of difficult to find us, by searching. So go ahead, click that direct link, and it's in the chat window, and then you can go ahead and just connect. And then every time you shop, just remember to go to smile.amazon.com. And here is our affirmation for giving. I am grateful for the divine giving that's circulating abundantly through my life, our community, and our world. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to take a screenshot of everybody. So smile. Those of you who are our non-video participants, if you would like to be in our video, please do. Start your video now, and we are going to take that picture of Marcia's going to screenshot it. So everybody, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile.
Got it.
Okay, thank you. All right. All right, so our announcements. Next, tomorrow is September 21st. And do you know what day that is? It's a very special day. It's International World Peace Day. And CSL Ministries are also participating in that World Peace Prayer. So you were sent an email called September Activities, and in that is the information on how to participate in the prayer day. It's for 1 hour, if I remember correctly, and you can participate, when all of us are doing it, and you can participate for as long as you want, for a long period, for the whole hour, or just a portion of the hour. And so I know we're in different time zones on this call, so you would look on that email to see what time zone you would participate. So for instance, those of us in the West Coast would be at 12 o'clock, and the East Coast would be at 3 o'clock. Okay. And there is the information for it. That's in the email that we have. Okay. All right. So, and thank you, Marcia. And then on Wednesday evening from 7 to 8 o'clock, we're going to have an educational seminar. Can't remember Jeannie's last name, but her name is Jeannie, and she's going to talk to us about reverse mortgages. And so if you know anyone who is in a position that they maybe their abundance hasn't been as visible as they would like it to be, and they are 62 years or older and they have a home, they may want to participate or learn about this, about reverse mortgages. I know we've seen a lot of that stuff on TV, and a lot of things have changed in the last few years, especially since 2008, 2009, when a lot of people lost their homes. So Jeannie, Cheryl called me and said she had met Jeannie, and she is going to come and introduce her for our workshop. So please do, you're invited to come and invite anybody that you know who might be interested in learning about reverse mortgages. It's not a sales event, it's an educational event, okay? Excuse me. And let's see, we did visioning last week, and next week we're going to do visioning again. Visioning is a process whereby we are inviting ourselves to be open and available to the vision that God has for our community. And so I invite everybody who would like to participate to do that. We do it right after service last week and next week. Today, however, you get to stay for fellowship. And so in order to participate, all you do is stay on the call, don't hang up. And those who are ready, we'll say goodbye to you later, and we'll stay hang out for a little while. If you had any questions about today's service, you can hang out and ask me about that too. So if there's any confusion about what I said, or you want to advance an idea or something, or you just want to talk about it, please stay and have fellowship with us. And go get some coffee or tea or something, because I am going to find a place to sit down. So you'll have a couple of minutes to move. Okay. All right. So I think that's it for our announcements for today. I thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you, Dorothea, for doing our reading. Thank you, Kathy, for being willing to participate by allowing me to talk about what you're doing with your backgrounds in your virtual, trying out that. And Mike, thanks again for doing our opening each week. I really appreciate that. And thanks, Cynthia and Connie, for stepping in today. And Zizi, we certainly hope you are feeling better. And so let us close by having our next video. Marsha, take it away.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss. The gift to realize that everything all that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward and start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors, and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart aligned in purpose. Everything all will feel gorgeous. All that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it. Every day I sit and pray, cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, but there's a million things that I can be grateful for. The small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift.
One more. This is for y'all.
All that I am.
All that I see.
All that I've been.
All that be.
It's a blessing.
It's so amazing.
And I am grateful for it.
No.
You are a blessing. You are an amazing blessing. So enjoy today and remember that. So, Marcia, we have a closing affirmation. Thank you all for being here today. We go forth today knowing that we are God's blessing in the world. Only good goes from us and only good comes to us. And so it is. Okay. Enjoy, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Love you. Bye, Facebook friends.